Good morning, friends. Let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up feeling like your knees or hips are angry at you before you've even had your first sip of coffee? Maybe you shuffle to the bathroom, holding onto the wall, thinking, why do I feel stiffer than I did when I went to bed? Well, you're not alone. In fact, there's a sneaky morning habit that 90% of seniors accidentally do every day, and it's quietly sabotaging their joints. But here's the good news. Today, we're going to talk about how to fix it. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have simple, doable steps to protect those precious joints of yours. No fancy equipment, no complicated routines, just small tweaks that'll make a world of difference. Now, let me start by sharing a quick story about my neighbor Martha. Martha's 72, loves gardening, and has more energy than most 30-year-olds. But last year, she told me, some mornings, my hands feel like rusty hinges. Sound familiar? Turns out, she was making one tiny mistake in the first 10 minutes of her day. A mistake most of us don't even realize we're making. So let's dive in. The first habit we need to talk about is staying too still right after you wake up. I know. When you're cozy under the covers, the last thing you want to do is jump up and move. But here's the thing. Your joints are like hinges on a door. If they sit unused for hours, they get stiff. And when you finally do move, it's like trying to open that door without oiling it first. Here's what to do instead. Before you even sit up, take 30 seconds to gently wake up your body. Wiggle your toes. Rotate your ankles in little circles. Slowly bend and straighten your knees. It's not exercise. It's just letting your joints know, hey, we're starting the day. Martha calls this her lazy dance, and she swears it's cut her morning stiffness in half. Now, the second habit is all about how you get out of bed. Raise your hand if you've ever rolled straight to the edge of the mattress and launched yourself upright. Guilty? I used to do it too. But here's why that's a problem. When you sit up too fast, you're putting all your weight on your wrists, elbows, and lower back, like slamming the brakes on a car. Instead, try the log roll method. Here's how it works. Roll onto your side first, facing the edge of the bed. Then, use your arms to push yourself up sideways, letting your legs swing down slowly. It takes 2 extra seconds, but it saves your joints from that sudden jolt. Think of it as giving your body a smooth transition, like easing into a warm bath instead of jumping into cold water. Oh, and here's a pro tip. Keep a sturdy chair or bed rail nearby if you need a little extra support. There's no shame in it. Martha keeps a cute floral patterned rail by her bed, and she says it's like having a dance partner to lean on. Now, let's talk about the third habit, skipping hydration first thing. I get it. When you're rushing to the bathroom or the coffee maker, water isn't exactly top of mind. But here's the truth. After 6 to 8 hours without fluids, your joints are parched. The cartilage that cushions them needs hydration to stay spongy and flexible. So try this. Keep a glass of water by your bedside. Before you even stand up, take 3 to 4 slow sips. It doesn't have to be a full glass, just enough to kickstart your body's natural lubrication system. Martha adds a slice of lemon to hers, just for fun. She says it's like giving her joints a morning toast. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, but I've been doing these things for years. How bad can it really be? And hey, if you're feeling great, that's wonderful. But for so many of us, these little habits add up over time. The good news? It's never too late to make a change. Let's take a quick pause here. Grab your water. Try that log roll technique next time you get up. And maybe even wiggle those toes tomorrow morning. And when you're ready, we'll keep going. Because there's one more morning mistake that's silently wearing down your joints. And it's probably not what you'd expect. So, we've talked about waking up those joints gently, the log roll trick, and why hydration is like a morning hug for your knees. But now, let's tackle the biggest mistake most of us make without even realizing it. And honestly, this one surprised even me when I first learned about it. Picture this. You shuffle to the kitchen, make your coffee, and then plop down in your favorite chair to read the paper or watch the morning news. Seems harmless, right? Well, here's the catch. Sitting too long right after waking up is like letting your joints rust all over again. Think about it. You've just spent hours lying still, and now you're asking your body to freeze again. It's no wonder your hips protest when you finally stand up. Martha learned this the hard way. She'd sit for 20 to 30 minutes with her coffee, and by the time she stood, her knees would creak like an old rocking chair. Her doctor told her something brilliant. Your joints aren't meant to be parked, they're meant to cruise. So here's the fix. After you've had your first sip of water or coffee, take a 2-minute victory lap around your home. Walk to the window, check your plants, or just pace the hallway. You're not training for a marathon. You're just reminding your joints, hey, we're awake now. Martha calls this her coffee crawl, and she swears it's made her mornings feel smoother than her favorite jazz playlist. Now, let's talk about something we all do without thinking. How we bend in the morning. Whether it's tying shoes, picking up the newspaper, or reaching for a pan, bending the wrong way can turn your spine and knees into a battlefield. My dad used to say, bend at the hips, not the back. And he was onto something. Here's a game changer, the golfer's lift. Next time you need to pick something up, place one hand on a counter or chair, shift your weight to one leg, and let the other leg swing back slightly as you bend forward. It looks fancy, but it's just a way to take pressure off your lower back and knees. Martha practices this every morning when she feeds her cat. She says it makes her feel like a ballet dancer, even in her fluffy slippers. And while we're on the topic of bending, let's chat about shoes. I know. It's tempting to pad around the house in those cozy, worn-in slippers. But here's the truth. Floppy slippers with no support are like driving a car with flat tires. Your knees and hips have to work twice as hard to keep you steady. So here's what to try. Invest in a pair of indoor shoes with good arch support. They don't have to be clunky. Martha found a pair of slip-ons with memory foam that she says feel like walking on clouds. Or, if you're a die-hard slipper fan, add an inexpensive orthotic insert. Your joints will thank you every time you take a step. Now, I want to pause for a second and address something I hear a lot. But I've got arthritis. Won't movement make it worse? Actually, the opposite is true. Gentle movement is like oiling a squeaky hinge. It's the stiffness that feeds the pain, not the motion. Start small. Maybe just rolling your ankles while you brush your teeth, or doing slow shoulder rolls as the coffee brews. Martha's physical therapist taught her a saying, motion is lotion. And honestly, that stuck with me. It's not about pushing through pain. It's about finding little ways to keep the gears turning smoothly. But wait, there's one more morning habit that's silently stressing your joints, and it's probably sitting on your breakfast plate.